Sway in the morning, Shade 45, man. Man, at this point needs no introductions, and I've had the pleasure of introducing him a numerous amount of times, and sometimes they say with words come power, and whenever I discuss or talk about who he is, I even feel more powerful, Mike Muse.
Oh,
All
wow.
right,
that's high praise.
Oh man, that's well deserved, man. When I say he's the trillest in the game, there's nobody triller. I met just about everybody. Nobody that I feel like is the realest. And he's here today to talk about his new project, Return of The Trill, which looks like it's an amazing body of work. The one and only Bun B is here.
Thank you for that. It's an amazing introduction.
Oh man, that was just something if you wanted to put on your next mixtape and put it in between, songs. That was just something that we could talk about. I want to start in Houston. We suffered a big loss in the music community recently. Can you speak on that?
So we recently lost DJ Ready Red.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Ready Red was one of the founding members of the Ghetto Boys. He's also one of the first hip hop producers and DJs from the city. So he literally is the foundation of Houston hip hop, and it's just rough to see a brother so young leave because he was only like 53, so that's not old at all, despite what young people may think, there's still room for greatness left after that time. And it just hurts because, I hadn't seen him in a while, hadn't had a chance to talk to him and just thank him for being one of the people that allowed me to have a job, a career, legacy, and it hurts when we lose these people because there's so much greatness that is still left in them. And then at the same time, like I was telling my wife the other day, we don't do enough oral history of hip hop.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Nice. We always want to do documentaries but we never really get to sit and talk with the greats. Mm-hmm. We talk to people that were around them in proximity, but we need to hear more lessons and more about the culture from the horse's mouth. So whenever you see your legends, make sure you reach out to them, talk to them, and ask them questions, you know what I'm saying? Because they have information that no one else is privy to. And so that's the one thing I miss about Ready Red. He could have really broke down a lot of the earliest days of Houston hip-hop for a lot of people and told some stories that really nobody else can tell.
They can tell those. Huh? Do you have a memory of just being around him or working around him? Or?
Well, I mean, in the earliest days, I didn't really get to work with him because he had kind of, by the time we came in and established ourselves, Ready Red had kind of walked away from being active in music. But I do remember coming into contact with him in the early days through a good friend of mine, Shakim. Shakim was Raheem's hype man. And just seeing those guys in those early days, in the clubs and on stages, man, was really inspiring because, all the hip hop that we had ever been privy to up to that point was from outside of our region.
Yeah.
And, when Ready Red and Prince Johnny C and Jukebox and Jay Prince brought the Ghetto Boys out to the masses with Bushwick, it was really us, looking at people representing where we were from and walking the streets that we walked on. And it was a blessing because that inspires you more than ever to think, well, if they could do it and they from here, then we could do it too.
Yeah, man. Long live Ready Red, man. We're going to keep that spirit. We're going to keep the spirit going here on this show too, like he right here in the studio.
For real.
Another thing that happened this weekend, man, that I've been kind of smiling all, this entire weekend is when Birdman came on stage and publicly apologized to Wayne right there on the stage for all the things that they had been going through. I thought that was really significant because people look up to people like Birdman and Wayne, like yourself, even myself. They idolize in many ways and look up to us, and for us as adults to show that there can be resolution even when there's disagreement. I wanted to commend him for that because of the example it sets for those in the streets. What did you think when you saw that? Because you're close to them.
Yeah, well, I mean, we never see this side of Birdman. Well, most people never see this side of Birdman. They normally see the number one stunner, and that's how he's presented himself to the world. But it's amazing when someone like that can reach a level of humility and admit when they're wrong about things, and it says a lot for the culture because there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes and behind closed doors that we never really see people rectify publicly. We don't really know where people stand. And this Birdman, Lil Wayne situation has been one of the most vocal and visual, disagreements, we'll say, in hip hop. And it's a beautiful thing for somebody like Birdman to be like, yo, I was wrong for that, and I love youngin, and I want to do right by this situation. And it gives encouragement to the rest of us that, whatever issues and beefs you got, as long as nobody got shot or nobody's dead or anything like that, we can come to common ground on that kind of stuff. I hate when these issues become public because they all eventually get solved. Every time these rap beefs or whatever occur, they always end up working themselves out. But once you put that stuff out to the public, it's hard to get it back. I've had disagreements with different people in hip-hop culture, but I chose not to speak on it publicly because once you throw it out there, then it belongs to the people, and then the people start putting their opinion and their power behind it. They want to have to choose sides. Well, we're going to be Team Birdman or we're going to be Team Lil Wayne, and it shouldn't have to be like that. It's always better when we can solve these things behind closed doors and everybody saves face, nobody loses any of their fan base, and everything kind of goes on as it was.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. That's why I say he's the Trillist. You can hear it right now, Rich Nice.
That's right.
Return of the Trill.
Return of the Trill.
Rich Nice blew my mind this morning.
So I had to bring, since the beginning of the Trill, I wanted to bring the first UGK project, Too Hard to Swallow. When you see this, what do you think with this new project coming in, and what are some of the things that you still do that you did on this here project?
When I look at this, the first thing I realized how big I was, and I always try to show my kids. My kids never saw me this fat, right? You know what I'm saying? So whenever I show them, especially my grandkids, they don't recognize me. Because I had the 3 chins and the 2 necks on this picture. I was a very, very, very unhealthy dude on here. But we had good times, man. This was when we still thought we could rule the world.
Yeah.
We had big dreams in this picture. And, we're somewhere, taking this album cover is actually, we're in Dallas the weekend that we shot the video for Too Hard to Swallow, and we just tried to find something like that, I guess the record company would call an urban themed kind of background.
Everybody stood next to a gate or a brick wall. That was the go-to back there. Right?
And after this one, the next album cover was us in front of a car. So we kept it pretty typical. But we had a lot of big dreams, and we accomplished most of them. You know what I'm saying? One of Pimp's big thing was being Grammy nominated, know, and we ended up getting 2, one for us featuring on Big Pimpin' with Jay, and then the other one was for International Players Anthem. So he didn't really count Big Pimpin' because 1, Jay boycotted, so we didn't get to go, and then 2, it wasn't really our record. It was us featuring on somebody else's record. So before he passed, we got nominated for our own Grammy with International Players Anthem.
That's amazing, man.
I could look back on this and,
let me see that, man.
I could look back at this picture and be like, y'all made it,
Ooh, damn, Bun. Forearms, man. You got Cro-Magnon forearms.
I was 300 plus on that picture.
Really?
Yeah. I was over 300 pounds.
Wow.
But you still had a boyish face, though.
Well, I mean, I was only 19.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
I was a young 300.
There it is.
Hey, Bun B, Mike Views here. It's a pleasure to meet you and talk to you in person.
Thank you,
we
boss.
talked to you a lot over the phone during the hurricane, and I just want to salute and commend you for all the work and effort that you did. And we were talking earlier about being responsible with your platform to advocate for good, and so I just want to salute you for recognizing your platform and advocating for good with that.
Thank you.
That is happening right now, there's a lot of shift that's occurring right now, not just across the nation, but even in Texas, when we look at our electorate. There's a race I just want to get your inside opinion on in terms of how our Texans monitoring the race. Between the incumbent Senator Ted Cruz, who's Republican,
and
coming against the Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke, and some is saying that Ted Cruz possibly could be in the fight of his life, and no one ever could see Texas actually shifting and flipping that. I'm just curious, all the work that you do on the ground and talking with everyone, what is the sense that you're getting in regards to that race, and how is the hip hop community coming together on the voting?
Every week that Beto goes out and campaigns, the margin gets smaller and smaller. Right now, the margin is only like 6 or 7 percentage points between him and Ted Cruz, which I don't think anyone, person, company included, ever thought he could have made that kind of ground so fast. But his message is really resonating with people. And I think that in Texas now, that more people looking at the current administration are open to a different kind of change. There was one kind of change that allowed this administration to come in, and now that we see the way and the direction that they're going, there's another kind of change that people want to implement. And a lot of Texans, even though Texas is highly regarded as red, a lot of people are trying to change that. And we're just trying to get people more active and more involved with the process. There's a new voting campaign now called Say Something. and which I'm a part of, and we're just trying to get people not just to register, because a lot of these movements are about getting people registered to vote, but we also need people to actually vote after they're registered.
Yeah.
And that actually becomes another hurdle for older people, for young college kids, you know what I'm saying, for inner city people. Texas doesn't really have the crazy issues that places like South Carolina or North Carolina might have with trying to push these voter ID law initiatives.
Right.
We don't really have that, but what we do have is still a lack of engagement ever since 2008 and 2012. People don't really feel like they should vote because they don't see anyone that really reflects their struggle or who they are culturally. I think Beto is a part of the change, and it's good to have somebody that we are confident about voting for, as opposed to the lesser of two evils, which is kind of what we usually are stuck with in Texas. We really don't have anyone that we feel comfortable being behind, but you don't feel like continuing the status quo, so you just end up voting for whoever the other person is, confident or not. I think in this particular Senate race, we have a candidate that we're really confident about putting in a power position to really affect change that people in the inner cities and people of culture can really see.
That's great.
All right, Bun B is here, man. Get this man a round of applause. You know, when you did Trill OG, the epilogue, and then you did Bernard, I was, each time you do a project, I go, man, this brother always manages to stay fresh in his approach to his music and conceptually, but also you always manage to keep that fire, even after doing it as long as you have, to keep that fire. Return of the Trill.
Yes.
What are you returning from?
Well, just from really, doing other things. Like I'm in a mode of transition.
Yeah.
Right now, from just being an artist and a father with grandparents now, and there's a bit of a higher calling for me now. So we're just trying to find a way to transition into other areas of life, And I've had a really long, blessed career in music, and I'm not necessarily done with it, but it can't be the end all be all of what my legacy will be when I'm gone. So there's other things that we want to do, with our life. But the music is and has been the foundation and the backbone to everything that we do. So with this new album, we're just kind of returning to what Trill originally meant, because a lot of people are co-opting the term and trying to make it mean what they want it to mean. But we know what it really stands for. And, being Trill doesn't mean you're gangster, doesn't mean you're in a gang, doesn't mean you didn't caught a case or bust your gun. None of that has to do with being Trill. Being Trill is about being honest with yourself, about who you are, so you can be honest with yourself with other people. Because if you're lying to yourself, you're going to end up lying to me too.
Yeah.
So being Trill is just about being comfortable in your skin. You know what I'm saying? If you're a 9-to-5 brother, you work hard, you come home, you take care of your family, that's Trill to me. You know what I'm saying? If you're a hustler in the streets trying to make ends meet, that's Trill to me. Whatever it is that you are, that you know in your heart you are, and you don't have to lie about, that's what Keeping It Trill is about.
Recognize is a song that's on the project featuring T.I. and Big Crit. Did Crit do the whole project? Or
No. Crit was the musical coordinator.
Okay.
Queenie was the executive producer.
Okay. I see you,
You know
EP.
what I'm saying? So when we talk about still having that fire, she's the one that kind of lit that fire under my feet for this one. You know, it's like, because like I said, I'm looking to transition to other things. I still occasionally teach at Rice University. I've done some writing for Vice magazine. We had been doing a lot of work in the community with Harvey and post Harvey, and she was like, you still need to rap though. You know what I'm saying? Like you still good at what you do. There's no reason why you shouldn't still be putting music out. So she came up with the idea of going in with Crit initially, and Crit was like, well, I don't want to do the whole album. I just want to make sure that the album sounds right. You know what I'm saying? So we let him be the musical coordinator. So he did contribute his production, but then he contributed a lot of insight as well. So we did music with a lot of producers, some known, some unknown, and we picked through a lot of it. And this is the content that we felt, was the best representation of us returning back to that trillness.
There it is, Bun B. This is recognized.
I keep trying not to curse this shit because I keep forgetting, like at radio, because I'll do this and then go to terrestrial radio and be like, "What the fuck is up?"
Yeah, man.
And get run out the building.
Yeah, but you ain't keeping it trill unless you speak what's on your heart and mind.
God damn it, let's do this shit.
Okay, there it is, guys. Hot damn it. All right, recognize featuring T.I. and Big Crit. You want to talk with Bun B? We in the middle of the A&R room. 888-742-3345.
King in your presence.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45. You hear how hard that is, Heather? Saw you over there nodding your head, HB.
Just clapping. Just clapping and just saluting because we have to. I was thinking though while you were talking, Bun, about because I had a conversation with Snoop and he was talking about being a grandfather, and I just think it's so dope because I think you know, coming in hip hop at such a young age, you was looking at a picture when you were 19 years old.
Right.
Did you ever think this far ahead? You know, where you'll be able one day to show your grandchildren your pictures and albums and different things like that, and just how you developed so much. Because I think you describing yourself, you can't forget like the activism, and I know sometimes we could get turned off about that word, but Mike Muse brought up, you know, everything that you were doing with the hurricane, and it just doesn't stop there. Your education, you know, going into the schools like Rice and universities in different places and talking to people. What would you tell a young artist at 19 now coming up, you know, that has the career that you have? What would you say to them?
That this isn't the end, this is the beginning. You know, when I walked in the record company and signed my deal, I thought that's it. You know, everything's answered, everything's done. This is what my life is going to be now. It really was just the beginning of my life. And it was really the beginning of doors opening and opportunities presenting themselves. So I would just tell a young artist to just be prepared for anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't just sign a record deal and think that that's all you ever going to be as a musician, because being a musician will open doors for you, right? It'll get you in a room with certain people. So you'll only go as far as your dreams take you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you want to be, you can be that. You know what I'm saying? You can be a businessman. You can be a teacher. You can be a politician. You can still go back to school and get a degree. You can do all of these things. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just be a rapper. Now, if that's all you want to be, then that's cool. But you're really limiting yourself, because this is a stepping stone to something else. You know what I'm saying? Now, if all I ever became was a rapper, I would still have something to be proud of. But if I look back and realize I missed a lot of opportunities because I only wanted to be a rapper, then that's something that maybe you would have some regret about. So I just tell younger rappers, you know what I'm saying, you may have greatness inside of you that rap can't contain. You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
let that breathe, Bun. Let that breathe for a second. You might have greatness inside of you that rap cannot contain.
I mean, imagine if Hov only wanted to be a rapper.
Right.
How many opportunities that he wouldn't have been able to present to people as a CEO and creating companies like Tidal and all of these type of things. And now they're doing these huge tours that employ hundreds of people all around the country. And, you know, imagine if Beyonce only wanted to be a singer. And she wouldn't be able to put the first black photographer's photos on the cover of the September Vogue. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of greatness in us. And I think we tend to limit ourselves because we don't give ourselves enough credit for how great we could be. You know, like, because being a rapper is a big thing to people who aren't rappers, right? But then once you become a rapper and you realize that rappers have segued into television and into movies and reality shows, and Eminem owning a XM station, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if he only wanted to be a rapper. We wouldn't be in this room right now. You know, so you just can't limit yourself. I never thought I would have been a teacher. I never thought I would have been, you know, writing for Vice. I never thought I would have been a grandfather. You know what I'm saying? And I consider it a blessing and an honor that all these opportunities fell in my lap, and I'm just waiting to see what's the next ride we get on. You know,
well, the next ride is Return of the Trill out Friday. Don't forget that, you know, Tracy.
Well, Bun, on that note, with, you know, not putting a cap on our greatness, not limiting at all,
right?
Are there any skill sets that you're trying to work on? Because there's so much that we look at you towards and we just applaud. Is there anything that you're trying to gain or that you want to sharpen?
Yeah, at this point, health.
Okay.
Right, at this point, I look back on my life and I smoked a lot of blunts. I sipped a lot of syrup. You know what I'm saying? I used to do fry. I used to drink a ton of liquor, like a fifth of Hennessy a day.
You used to do what?
Fry. Love Boat, Amp, Dust, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, shit. Damn, I'm
don't
thinking
say
liquid.
Heather coming to me for the drug verbiage. I mean, Jersey's bad, but I mean, we're not CVS.
Heather, what does he mean by that?
Mama Zeke, leaky leak.
In the words of jail felony, we gonna smoke a dip.
Not a little. Oh, okay. Damn, you was Sherm?
Yes, sir.
Shit.
Yeah, a lot of the people from my generation from Houston were definitely on the Sherm back in the day. Wow. But I quit everything. My wife can attest to this. I quit every drug before it became popular. You know what I'm saying? So syrup was probably the one that I was still doing while the popularity started. But then, like, as soon as we did the song, I started having like a lot of stomach issues. So I quit sipping as well. But a lot of stuff, you know, popping the pills, all the, you know, Percocets and codone pills and all of that. I did all of that stuff, but I quit it early when I realized it was a problem. I just let it go. That's one thing I've been really good at is any vices that I have. Once I decide I'm done with it, I quit cold turkey. I quit cigarettes cold turkey.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So once I realize something is bigger than me and it has a hold on me, then I try to let it go. Like even with trees, like, and it's crazy because like I'm pretty much, I used to smoke like 7 grams a day, 7 to 10 grams of weed a day. Now I probably smoke a half a joint or a joint a day. You know what I'm saying? So I just realized that some of these things I don't need to do all the time as much as I thought.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily reflect my identity. Now, there was a time where seeing Bun B with a Swish of Sweet kind of meant something, right? It was, culturally, it meant something. But now I don't feel like I need to live up to any of those things. Like, I've pretty much done everything that I've had I could do. And if people don't see me in a certain light now, they're never going to see me in that light. So if people don't recognize me as an OG now, they're never going to recognize that. And all the cups of syrup in the world ain't going to change that.
Ain't going to change that, right?
You know what I'm saying? And then, like I got the grandkids looking at me now, and I just, I need to carry myself in a different way. And there's a way that I want them to see me, not necessarily as a rapper or somebody on TV or on the radio or something, but just as a good person that's living their life right. That's the message that I want them to have. When people come up to them when I'm gone, to be able to say that their grandfather wasn't just a good rapper or anything, but he was a good person.
Yeah.
So I got different things I want out of life
now.
Let it breathe. Just let it breathe. Let this shit breathe right here, man. Oh, we got Nick on the line from Rhode Island. Nick, go ahead. What you want to say to Bun B?
Hey, Nick.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Bun B, what up?
What's up, Nick?
Not much, man. I just wanted to, I want to show some love. One of my favorite albums is Trill.
Oh, wow.
I know you got the new CD coming out. My question was, ever think about getting into politics after music?
I have given it consideration, and it's definitely not something I would do while I was still making music. But that's a whole different game.
Yeah.
And I thought the rap game was dirty.
Yeah.
I thought the streets was dirty. It's politics, man. They are really cutthroat, and they take no prisoners. And when you run for office, I think something that people don't really realize, your family runs for office too.
Yeah.
So, anything that I would want to do in that realm, it would have to be something that me, my wife, my kids, we all agreed upon, because they're going to try to dig through everybody's life and try to find something compromising. And I just don't want people in my messing with my family like that. And there's a level of action and a level of change that I can affect without necessarily having to be in public office.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's certain things that a mayor can't do that I can do, and vice versa. But right now we have some pretty good leadership in the city of Houston. If I feel like I can do it better than the people who are doing it, I might take a swing at it. But our last mayor, Anise Parker, was really effective in the city. Our current mayor, Sylvester Turner, is pretty effective at what he does. He's been in my corner since he was a state representative as well. So right now, the state's looking pretty good. If Beto doesn't win, then I may have to get into that fight. I may have to get into that fight.
Make sure you pull Willie D in with you.
But we for real. But we've had people come at us at different points in my career and ask me if that's something I wanted to do, and that they would want to, they be in a position to fund. But that's something that's scary too. Like, once people fund your campaign, then I don't know what favor I got to pay back to those people and what their true intentions are. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, right now I got my day job is good. If my wife says maybe we need to become more active in that field, then I'll take more consideration into it. But she didn't tell me I needed to be more political. She told me I needed to do more rapping.
She said you need to rap, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
And the rap opens the doors to everything else. This is what lets people know who I am and where I stand. So, if you ever see a Bun B for mayor, it'll probably be a mixtape first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Be a mixtape, and you could put your message
I could put my message in.
That's smart, though.
Whatever it is, whatever I'm standing on at that time would be the core foundation of what the mixtape is talking about and what we would want to affect change in. But right now, I just want to get the people motivated, you know what I'm saying, and get them more excited about local elections, because everybody only really pays attention to elections when it's presidential, right? But it's the local elections that really affect the everyday things that happen in your community, in your district, and that's how we get better candidates for state rep and state senator and get people into the White House, is by encouraging and supporting up and coming people who have the right intentions and the right place in their heart.
Bun B, ladies and gentlemen. We got a couple stacks for you, man. You don't owe us nothing, man. You know, if you run, we got a couple. You got this platform. You know, this will be one of your platforms you could utilize.
Well, if I do decide to run, I'll come and make my announcement here. Y'all will be my David. Y'all will be my David Letterman.
There it is. And all the work you did with us around the hurricane, Bun B was inside on the ground. Him and his lovely wife was calling in and letting us know what's going on, man. That was magnificent.
That was a year ago this week.
That was a year ago this week.
Yeah, because Harvey hit on the 25th.
Yeah.
So Harvey actually touched ground like 2 days ago, a year ago.
Yeah. And
So this would have been like one of the first year ago. This probably would have been one of the days I would have been calling in and telling y'all what was going on.
Man, that was some amazing coverage too, man. Thank you for doing that, man. Bun B is here. Return of the Trill is out Friday. We're in the middle of the A&R room with Rich Nice. Let's get to it.
Information we could use.
Industry rule number 4008. First of all, who's your A&R?
Sway in the morning.
All right, Bun. You know how this works, man. You've been here before. You're a member of the show. Rich Nice is here. Your favorite producer's favorite producer. Rich Nice is here. What up, Rich?
Soundboy killer.
I didn't see you the whole weekend, man. You know your niece is in town.
Oh man, I gotta catch up with her.
I thought that's why I didn't see you. You know, you supposed to. You didn't want to do no uncle duties and relieve me.
Nah. You know what? I actually was home most of the weekend.
Yeah,
man.
I know. That's what I mean.
After Soul on the Horn Friday,
we live about 5 blocks away from each other, and
he didn't
come see my daughter this weekend because she be putting it on him. So, but go ahead, Rich.
I text him. He was in Brooklyn at the Big 3.
Ice Cube's Big 3 championship was amazing.
And I said, come through, hang out with me. I went to go see Fishbone at Brooklyn Bowl, and then I went to my party in Brooklyn. He said, I'm going to take it uptown. Had a long day.
She's not 21, Rich.
It's my party, though.
Shout out to Fish.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
All right, so what we playing today, Rich?
Can we start? Before we start, I have a name. I have a new name for Rick.
Oh, you got
Golden Ears.
Golden Ears. Rich Nice, a.k.a.
I like that.
Golden
Oh,
Ears.
better than Soundboy Killer.
Better than Soundboy Killer. Golden Ears.
There it is. I like that. You that's new, Rich. There we go.
Yeah, that new.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, in that spirit, this is a young guy from California that I got turned on to from Crondon.
Oh. Strong arm steady.
Yes, sir. And
Black Lightning.
I got
Black Lightning, yeah.
Now I got not a lot, but a few songs from him, and one of these songs particularly called "Check." I thought the citizens should hear about. His name is Bale, B-A-L-E, and he's from Los Angeles, California, and the name of this song is "Check."
Okay, so y'all call up, let us know what you think, if you like it or not. 888-742-3345. It's the A&R room. Sway in the morning, you in the middle of the A&R room. We got special guest Bun B is with us. Return of the Trill is out this Friday. Pick up his new project. Pre-orders are available now.
Yes.
Okay, so you could pre-order that album now. What you should do, is it a single? Recognized? Is that the single?
And they'll get that free. They pre-order the album, they'll get recognized free.
You get that for free, so go ahead and get that. The song we just played is by an artist by the name of Bale, and the song is called Check. Yes.
And he's part of a clique called Undrafted LA.
Undrafted LA. Bun, what do you think of that song? You listen to that young man.
That's a good collective name for one. That's pretty ill. I like the sound. I like the song.
Yeah.
Tonally, he sounds a lot like a Mac Miller, but I don't want him to take that the wrong way because Mac Miller actually got bars. But I'm just saying tonally. But he's got his own little sound going for himself. He doesn't really sound like a lot of music that you hear right now, and that could probably work to his advantage.
Yeah, I think he's a writer too. I can hear it in his verses. You know, raised by some felons, and I can hear when the way he's spitting his rhymes that it's something he wrote down. I like writers.
Yeah, I would like to hear more from him though, because it's to the point now where you want to hear how people got to this point. To me, like he mentioned a couple drug references, and he like why. You know, like who raised you? You know, to Sway's point. Like I want to hear more.
Yeah.
You know, I can't take these one singles or these one songs anymore as this is who this person is as an artist. We'd like to hear more from him.
We're gonna go to Waco. We got Chris on the line. What up, Chris? Big Chris.
Chris.
Yo. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Bun?
What's up, Chris?
What you think of the song, man?
Hey, it was a good song, man. I like it. It's cool.
He likes it. Okay, thank you, Chris.
Good song.
All right, good song. Kev in Texas, what do you think? You like the song or not?
Hey, Kev.
The song was dope. How y'all doing today?
All right.
Kev.
What do you like about it, Kev?
I kind of agree with Heather. You know, a lot of cats nowadays, we know y'all got it tough and everything, but still, you got to be influencing like Bun B did. You know, I'm a cat from Texas. I grew up on UGK, and I can't speak enough about that cat and what you do, Sway, and your crew. But I want to say big love to you, Bun, and thank you for doing everything you do and showing cats is another way. Don't just settle for who you are, and, you know, you can grow and come up out of that place. You know, I wasn't definitely in poverty or anything, but understanding that, you know, where you come from, where Chad came from, and how y'all rose up and inspired the culture. I can't speak enough on that, cat. I just want to tell you thank you from my heart, and, you know, thank you for everything you've done and continue to do for us. Over.
Man, thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Kev, you a citizen,
words.
man. Gave him a citizenship, Bun. You might have to give him his citizenship. Kev, you a citizenship. You a citizen.
Let's do it.
Okay, you got to say Sway in the morning. But all right, Kev, you a citizen. Kev, you a citizen of
Sway in the morning.
There it is, baby. All right. Okay. All right. Ty in Oklahoma
catch my
City.
cues.
Yeah.
Ty,
a little rusty at first, but I don't know what's going on. All right, Ty, what up?
Hey, Ty.
Yeah, how you guys doing? What's up, bud?
What's up, bro?
The song, not gonna lie, I called and I'm a little delayed. I'm listening on the app, so I thought I was gonna be talking to Bun, but I said no on the boards, but it kind of sounds like some Fabulous / Anderson .Paak type shit over maybe some Alchemist, so it could sound all right to me. I like it.
Yeah, but that combination you just said is like an explosive combination.
Yeah,
like
like
it
Right,
sounds like
right.
Anderson .Paak over Alchemist. So how can you
With
lose
Fabulous?
Yeah.
So Anderson .Paak, he kind of strings out his words a little bit, kind of like to get the enunciate the sound almost that he's making. Like, yes, law. Like, for example, he kind of brought that with a Fabulous cadence on the bars.
Okay. All right. So you like it. So sound like you like it.
I mean, I liked it, but I'm also the one who told Heather B to listen to My Sacrifice a few weeks back, so I don't really have that much of a A&R background.
You don't need to. What's if you like it or
Just
not,
what you
man?
like, yeah.
All right, man. Ty, man,
Who
you
told me
give
to
it to
listen to?
My Sacrifice. Ty, you a citizen.
Sway in the morning.
Sway in the morning.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get Bun on point, Heather. You know.
I got to get my cues together.
Okay, all right. Let's try it again.
Next one,
hey, is it Malik or Malik?
It's Malik.
Malik in Austin. You a citizen.
Of Sway in the morning. I'm tripping because they actually playing the Beyonce video that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
I wonder why my wife isn't filming all of this.
Okay.
I'm back on the air. You're supposed to be filming, and then check up on it is on the TV.
Check up on it. Did y'all get a Grammy?
It's not enough what?
Space.
To go live? I thought you were going live.
Oh, battery.
Excuse me.
The
the phone is dead now.
That's the EP, Buns.
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, I want the executive producer to get everything she's supposed to be getting. That's all.
Okay, cool.
And that's like very random that song is on TV right now.
And give her a battery charger, guys. You said you got one? Okay, there you go. Hey, congratulations to Bell. People like that. People like the track. Right?
Congratulations to Bell. I'm going to hit him up on social media.
Hit him up, and that means what's going to happen, Bell, is you're going to hear your track periodically here on Sway in the Morning. We about to wrap up the show. I want to thank our guest for coming by today, DC Young Fly.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to that young man.
What a story he got.
Yeah, people don't even
he's
know.
He's come a long way
in
his life, and he's young too. So he's got a lot of years ahead of him.
Curb Music is the name of his new project. Catch him on Wild 'N Out. Catch that tour. It's an amazing tour. Bun, I want to thank you for coming by too.
Thank you. Catch me on Wild 'N Out too. I actually filmed the episode.